Alright guys, in this video I'm bringing you guys patch 4.08 tier list. This video was actually recorded like a week ago, I think exactly. It was like right a bit after the patch came out, so it's just raw opinions, stuff like that. It's been like a good bit. The tournament should be a day after this, and then we're gonna see how close I was with the patch, and then probably look at it after that. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy. Remember, take everything with a grain of salt because the patch is still very new, right? We haven't even gotten to play a tournament on it yet, so I'm just going off my thoughts, reading off the patch and stuff like that. So, like I said, as always, I will make one in the future, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. See you guys later. The sponsor for today's video is none other than Raid Shadow Legends. As someone who sits down to play tournaments or practice for long hours a day, I've been looking for a game I can quickly move in and out of while keeping that competitive aspect I love, all while being casual. Raid Shadow Legends allows you to do this in the palm of your hands, competing against millions of other players through tournaments and their online leaderboard. A big part I like about Raid is their artifact leveling system and how specific items synergize with characters and their abilities. I spent a lot of time while I played leveling my characters and items. They've created a very nice system in which you can view, compare, and level items, and ease of use is very appealing. I must say I've spent tons of hours leveling up my items for my main team, and it's just so satisfying. Just this month, Raid released the Artifact Forge. This allows you to directly craft artifacts, and paired with the new questing system, gives you amazing rewards and goals to aim for. They also dropped some sick new champions this month as they move towards their full release of the all-new Doom Tower. My account in-game is an Remmy, and if you guys move fast enough, you may be able to join my clan. Don't waste any time. New accounts using my link get 100,000 silver, 50 gems, 10 shards, and a new champion, Hexweaver, to start themselves off with. You can find all this loot in your inbox, and I can't wait to see you all there. Okay. Alright, so let's begin with what? Let's see. So, off the bat, I don't know how far we're going to be going on these, and I don't know what to name them, for example, right? Because, okay, so this is S. So I'm gonna hold this as S, right? And these are the best characters, so obviously. And then this is A, so these are best characters. Also, I don't want to go straight from A to, I want to do like an A plus A thing, and then because I don't want it to be too gapped, right? Bad. But I feel like this isn't enough room, right? So C, I'll do C, and then I'll do bad, and then Mako is banned, so Mako will not be on it. Alright, so the best character in the game right now, in 1v1s, this is a character that's going to do damage, and then is probably like if I just have to put a blank statement, I'd say Hattori, Koji, and then something like Val are all gonna be what you're looking at for the best, right? Where's Val? Val. Okay. So Hattori, Koji, and Val. And high decks for I don't really care about all that deck stuff anymore, but let's talk about why these characters are here. We're not looking at, it's gonna surprise you. You're gonna see Jiro like here probably, right? And the reason it's like this, and let me talk about this, Koji has a 40 damage downlight Ensig true combo, by the way. That's why Koji's up here. Downlight Ensig on Koji is true and does 40 damage, just remember that. Downlight Ensig on Koji's bow, if you catch a dodge on the sidelight downlight, is going to be 1 frame, which is a kill too. So those are 2 kill options, 2 consistencies that you have on Koji. And yeah, so that's really easy for Koji to be up there. I'd honestly argue he's like the best, considering that I think Koji could be the best character in the game right now. You should all probably talk about it. Yeah, no one ever talks about that Koji combo. Well, they need to start talking about it. Okay, so Hattori's second, mainly because Hattori super fast, big weapons moving out, which will literally mean that defense is not going to be as relevant. If big weapons are not as threatening, you're able to play characters that focus more on other stats than defense because you won't be dying fast anyway. So what this means is characters like Hattori will come back in. Characters like Jiro will be relevant because Jiro has 2 top tier weapons, right? Sure, one is hard, but Jiro has 2 top tier weapons, and he won't be dying as fast as he was previous patches. That's very good for him. That was his problem, right? That was Jiro's problem. The problem with Jiro is that he dies too fast. You're running 3 defense, 4 defense with a stance. Now you're running 4 defense. You can work with that because you're not going to be dying as fast. So you can bring him up here. That being said, that's why Hattori's up here. She has Spear. Spear is still super consistent, super good. And Sword, which is super strong. And her Sigs are always going to be solid. If you get a dodge on Sword, you can do downlight GCN Sig. Get an early KO for yourself. His edge guards are consistent, blah, 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 blah. All that stuff is great. Her Sigs are good, and they've been getting super soft buffs throughout the entire time. Continuing on here, I'm going to put Core, and I'm going to put Wushang. Where is he? I lost Wushang. Oh my god, he gone. Found him. Okay. And this is another surprise one that I'm going to put Ember. Because Katars are really good right now. And they have really good matchups. And Bow paired with Ember. And then, like I said, you can move up that defense stance onto Ember. Now you're rocking 4 defense. And her Sigs are all broken. They're all dumb. She doesn't have a fair Sig. The reason you didn't play her was because she died. Now she doesn't die. Now you just have a character with dumb Sigs and dumb weapons. Just play Ember. I'm serious. Just play Ember. Just play Ember. If you're gonna play Bow, just play Ember. Zariel. Zariel's Sigs are also dumb as hell, and he's gonna go up here. Not he. They are gonna go up here. You know, I'm signing up for my LGBTQ boys. So yeah, Zariel's gonna be up here. And we can start moving on. The reason I'm not going to put Bodvar up here, even though Core is up here, is because I think Bodvar doesn't have as broken of Sigs as Core does. Core Sigs are just really dumb on both weapons. Bodvar has down Sig on Sword. I'll give that to him. But everything else is kind of very avoidable. And yeah. Alright, so moving on. Like I said, Jiro's over here. I can look for what to place above Jiro. Which is going to be very simple. So let's look and let's think really hard. We don't just want to autopilot, start placing things down. Any meta where Bow is good, Diana is going to come back in. So Diana is definitely going to be A+ tier. I think it's worth your time to play Diana. And before I forget, this character is broken as hell. Even if you want to play only one of the weapons, make sure you play that character. Okay, so I think this can round up our best characters in the game, right? So unless I'm missing something, I don't think another character is going to be in S tier. None of these characters are really looking like S tier potential. But yeah. So now that you have all your like broken ass Sword, Gauntlet, and Bow characters, you're going to want to be moving on to characters that are just like solid, right? So like I said, Diana is always going to be a solid pick, solid six stat. Both weapons are good. Like I said, guns aren't insane. I think they're pretty low on the tier list, mainly because of all the counterplay they have, but they're still solid. Like I said, the tier list only spans 3 tiers, so they can't be that bad. And Diana just has everything she needs as a character to work with. I think Caspian. Now, this character, I even have a crying emote of this character because of how bad he was last patch. But this character just jumped up a lot of tiers. With the Sig buffs and with the both weapons being good again, you're going to see value in Caspian, especially since heavy weapons are moving out and he has a well-rounded high 4 stat set. He's going to be able to kill early with fast weapons, and that's just broken, right? The Sigs are still kind of iffy. They got buffs, but they're still like in a weird spot where you can't really always find them and you can't always work with them, but I don't think that's going to be a problem for him. Okay. I think now you can put Petra in. You're going to see a lot of high-tier Gauntlet, Sword, Bow characters, mainly because that's the 3 best weapons in the game. I think I put Sword, Katars a bit low. I think Spear is still going to be better than Katars. So you're going to also see Spear characters come in first before Katar characters have priority. But yeah, so like I said, Petra comes in here mainly because of what Gauntlets can do already, plus Petra's signature kit is already cracked. And then you have Orb. Petra was already good last patch, and she was a good pick into the weapons that we said were broken, like Hammer and stuff. So, like Scarlet, I think Petra was a good pick into. Barraza, Petra was a good pick into. Now, they got nerfed. She didn't get nerfed. She did get nerfed, but not enough to where you care. So, you can move that in and do whatever you want with her. Okay, so moving on, like I said, defense is going to become less valuable, but you still have to look at what weapon combinations you're working with. I think cannon, for example, if I had to put a bad character, I'd say Zol is a bad character that you really shouldn't play, mainly because both the weapons are very low on the tier list. I think she has both the two worst weapons, yeah, and it's really easy to avoid his kill options, and his SIGs they just got buffed, but they're not really good, are they? So I think it's best to avoid playing a character like Zol right now. I will say that Azoth can start the A tier. Rayman will be in the A plus tier, really well rounded. All the SIGs are dumb, and when I say all the SIGs are dumb, all the SIGs are stupid. So yeah, that's why Rayman's gonna be up around this area. Like I said, take each like tier in itself with a grain of salt. That can be relooked at, but the like jumps are in a more obvious spot. So this character has bow, and his bow SIGs are really good, and his lance SIGs are also really good, which is why I would put him up here next to Rayman. Jala has sword, but I think she's not really valuable or worth playing, mainly because of the axe, but I will put her up here, mainly because of how well-rounded she is and what you can work with. Asuri is not A+, and the reason Asuri is not A+, is because Asuri has really bad SIGs still. And now the character is solid again. She's worth playing again. But I think her SIGs are still terrible. And there is still a lot of counterplay to the character, such as Hattori. Hattori is a really good counterpick to... And Brawlhalla doesn't have, like, hard counterpicks. So Hattori is a good pick to pick into Asuri to make sure that your game doesn't fall apart. As I said earlier, I'm going to have to put this character down somewhere. I'll put it down here. I think Caspian just defeats this character also, stuff like that. So yeah, that's what's going to go there. Asuri, as I just said, can still just be completely another, like Bodvar picked into Asuri. You just go with it. Bodvar's going to be Asuri, Hattori's going to be Asuri, Koji's going to Asuri. Ember is literally just better Asuri, just so you guys know. But yeah. Okay, so continuing on, you're going to want to start looking at the Scythe characters, because after all that, Scythe is what comes in. So Fate's going to go here. Mirage can also go here. Mirage might be better than Fate now after the last patch. You might want to play Mirage instead of Fate. Obviously, Mordex is going to go here. I think Mordex is like one of the best characters still. I think Mordex is really fucking solid. I could honestly see him being higher than A, but I'm just going to put him here just to be safe. Nyx is going to be down because Blaster's changes. Volkov's SIGs are still too dumb to not be here, even though he got hit a lot. And yeah, I think every canon character is bad. Like Isaiah is bad. Lin Fei, I can see an argument being made for one of these tiers, but because her Katars are kind of insane. Her Katars are really good. But Isaiah, you shouldn't play. No reason to put that weapon combo onto yourself. I think Cross is going to be around here. He has really good gauntlets. And Thor, I think, is going to be moving into B tier. Kaya still has the same weaknesses she had before, if that's not obvious enough for you guys. And people, I don't know why people like Kaya. Her SIGs are really obvious and really easy to play around. And if she can't hit you with any SIGs, she has two weapons with the same kill threat onto you. And what I mean by that is Spear is really long range kills, so you're gonna be like fishing for them from like Sarah range. Downlight requires someone to jump. You can easily move in and out of Sarah's hitboxes and to not die. And that is the same thing for Bow. Downlight recoveries, Bow's kill option, draw recoveries, stuff that you can easily move in and out of. So when you put both those together on one character, the counterplay to dying becomes really obvious. You can ride stocks for a long time, especially with speed. Yeah. Okay, so Brynn is worse than Kaya. Brynn is worse than a lot of characters. I'm kind of sleeping on Dusk once again. I'm going to put Dusk like up here. I think Dusk is pretty good. Thatch is going to be a B tier character. There might not be a C tier. I could just see like everything being like around here. Ragnar, probably around the same area as these. I think Ragnar is really good because he has Katars, and his Katars are really nice. So I'd put him above these characters. You're going to see Katar characters move up. Also, Queen Nai is broken. That character should go here. Speed is important, but like not when you do what this character does the entire game. Tierlist took a big drop, mainly because all the nerfs to his Sig combos. You're not going to be getting downline down Sig anymore, so you have a lot of counterplay to Tierlist, especially with the Sigs. And yeah, Barraza took a lot of hits last patch. I want to reread the Barraza hits, mainly because the gun down Sig lost 5 fixed force, and so not only did it lose 5 fixed, it lost 4 variable. So that's actually a lot in comparison to what nerfs you're seeing today. I think he can still be viable around the same area where Cross is. Hard to work with, but if you can get it, you can get it. So I'm going to put him around there. I think all the nerfs to Scarlet, plus the direct nerfs to her weapons, will put her at the start of C tier. I think this character is kind of good, but not really. I could see him around here. I think he's better than LMFAO, and LMFAO is better than Kaya. This character just took a big drop, but JK, because he has gauntlets, and her gauntlets are broken, so you can put it up there, and her stats are really good. Lucian is solid. I think Lucian is around the same tier as Diana. You can actually play Lucian, mainly because, like I said, killing early is not as relevant as it was last patch. And when I say that, I mean you're not looking for hammer kills anymore. You're still looking for some good stuff, and Lucian has solid 6 to kill with. So what about Mako? Mako is banned for the tournament, so it's not relevant for me to tier her. These characters are all hard to place because they exist inside kind of a void of characters. I'm going to put Nyx here. Cassidy, I think is B tier as well. I'm going to put her like right in front of Nash. And Vrax, I would put C tier. Ada, I think can go into A. Ada did get a buff and has spear and guns. I do think if you're going to play a low defense characters, there are better options than her. Sidra has sword, and her sword is broken, so you can leave her up here, right? Like, you can leave her around here. Yes, she has cannon, but she also has sword, like I just said. I'm going to put her around there. Sir Roland has sword. Put him around here. Algrim has axe and lance. I would say C tier character. Orion is pretty solid, but he's not as crazy as he was last patch. I'll put him around there. And Yumiko. Yumiko is pretty solid. I kind of skipped over it. Yumiko definitely goes into A+, especially since the nerfs were to recovery frames, and she doesn't get heavily affected by that, considering that she has 7 decks. So yeah. I think this is a pretty well-rounded out tier list, and I will now go over it and try to pick out what I would want to explain. I've already explained the top tiers. I think I explained that pretty well. These are pretty well-rounded characters that I think are pretty viable right now. I don't think big weapons are that relevant, but when characters have SIGs, when core can do downlight and SIG for 32 damage all game, you just pick core, right? That's the only reason. Bodvar is too well-rounded as well. And then, yeah, characters like Brynn is not that well-rounded. Cannon is in a tough spot, mainly because they took away its one move that it had last patch. I don't know why they did that. Brynn is this low, mainly because Brynn has one signature that you care about in ones. You can avoid the rest of them. Yeah, she has a 40 damage signature, but the 40 damage signature is also kind of avoidable, not that threatening to you. And like really, and I say this every single time people mention the 40 damage sig. Imagine if that sig didn't do 40 damage. It would be the worst sig in the game, right? If that sig did not do 40 damage, it would be the worst sig in the game. That's just the truth, right? So that's why she's that low. Yeah, you can avoid most of her sigs. She's not as threatening. Nai has downlight and sig. That's just broken. And she has Katars, so. Sentinel has Katars, yes, and he has Katar down sig, but he also has Hammer, and his other stats are kind of lacking. I feel like if you want to play a character like Sentinel, you're better off playing characters like Ember, Caspian, and Asuri. The fast weapon, I'm telling you, the fast weapons will literally just destroy Hammer this patch. Obviously, this is only for singles. Doubles is a completely different beast. Axe is like the second best weapon in doubles still, behind Spear, so... when you look at this, just focus on ones, and if you're playing Hammer and ones into any of this stuff, you're just not going to have a good time at all. Same with Axe, same with Cannon. Cannon just sucks, period, because it doesn't do anything at all. I don't think I want to move anything around that I'm seeing. Maybe you can convince me, chat. Chat, do you think there's anything that is too low or too high. I love interacting with my viewers in Twitch chat. Can you explain why Yumiko is A tier? I'm a Yumiko man. Everyone tells me she's terrible. I don't know why anyone says Yumiko is terrible when all 3 of her SIGs on Hammer are batshit broken, and the bow is bow, so it doesn't matter. This nerf doesn't affect her as hard as it affects other characters because she has high dex anyway. So Brynn is good in 2s. Brynn is really good in 2s. Yes, Brynn is crazy in 2s. Do you actually think Hammer or Lance is bad now? They're low. They have extreme counterplay when compared to the high tier weapons. The high tier weapons like directly counter them, kind of. Why is Ember S tier? Ember, you don't care about defense right now that much, right? Defense is ignorable because heavy weapons are going to be moved out. So you can take away that defense and put it into other stats, which Ember does. Ember has 4 defense with a with a stance. Both her weapons are really high right now, and she has really good SIGs all around her kit. So yeah, that's why Ember is that high. And yeah, so what stops Mordex from being A+? Nothing. He could be A+. Like I said, you can easily just move him up and down. Doesn't really matter. He's also just a good place to start A. I think he's honestly, I don't know. I feel like Gauntlets and Scythe together don't leave too much room for death on your opponent. Sandstorm is consistent with it, but I do kind of feel like you can get in a position where it's hard to kill your opponent if they play smart or if they pick a counter pick weapon like Koji into Mordex is really good for Koji right now. And yeah. Alright, I'm gonna end this video here before it gets too long. That's the 1v1 tier list for character tier list for 4.07. Hope you guys enjoy. I will make a new one of these later in the patch to see if I was wrong or if I changed my mind or whatever. And yeah, later.